Welcome to Emotionally Evicted. We're your hosts, Mandy and Tami, sisters, survivors, and women who are reclaiming our lives one unapologetic story at a time. We're not therapists, just two women who've been through it, healed it, and aren't afraid to talk about it. This show is our eviction notice to chaos, codependency, and generational dysfunction, and your permission slip to reclaim peace, power, and your damn self.
This podcast is brought to you by Illumina Ops Solutions. We specialize in streamlining your systems, scaling your business, and getting you the hell out of the weeds. Because growth shouldn't feel this hard, and we've got the solutions you never saw coming. Visit illuminaops.com to start reclaiming your brilliance.
Hi, welcome back to Emotionally Evicted. You know, there comes a moment in every woman's life where the roles that she learned in childhood stop working, where the people pleasing, the fixing, the quietness, the carrying everything on your back finally hits a wall. And you realize, I cannot live like this anymore.
Exactly. And I think for us, that moment didn't show up all at once. It was cumulative. It wasn't like some big dramatic movie moment. It was like tiny little cracks in the armor that we've been wearing our whole lives, little whispers of truth in our ears, little flashes of clarity, moments where we just saw ourselves and the patterns and from the outside for the very first time. And yeah, it was definitely revealing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We spent decades being the strong ones, the dependable ones, the emotionally stable ones, because that's what we grew up needing to be. But in adulthood, those same survival skills became the very things that were breaking us. I would love, you know what? I would just love to have a good crash out one day, but I just can't bring myself to do it.
We need to pick our crash out song.
Right.
Yeah. And I know we said this before, and what's really wild is that, to the world around us, we look like so polished and put together and successful. But on the inside, we're just drained, exhausted. We're repeating our childhood roles without even realizing it. And somewhere deep down, we just knew something had to change. And maybe a crash out is imminent and much needed.
Right. So this episode is where our story shifts from surviving to awakening, from repeating patterns to finally naming them, from carrying everything to finally setting it down.
Yeah. It was a turning point, a moment we started healing, and the moment we began reclaiming ourselves, and the moment we realized that this is why we do what we're doing now with this podcast.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can reflect a bit on kind of like what our lives looked like before the turning point. I mean, I can think of a few things: overfunctioning, choosing partners who mirrored childhood patterns, carrying emotional loads that weren't ours. I mean, hell, I still do that now.
Yeah.
I mean, just because we have this podcast doesn't mean that we're completely healed and everything's, 100.
This is a learn as you go in progress, just sharing, our past history, what we've learned from that, and kind of sharing as we move forward, what that's looking like in our healing journey, because I think that resonates with a lot of women. It's just an insider look, basically.
Yes. Insider look. That's a good way to put it. We're in the trenches with you.
Yeah.
We are in the trenches still.
Yeah. Do not at all take we want people to relate to us and definitely feel like everything we're talking about resonates, but definitely do not think like we have it all figured out, because that is not what we're trying to sell here. We're just trying
Right.
to say, "Hey, we recognize that we got some fucking problems, okay? And
Yeah, we do.
we wanna work on that and become better people, better humans, and we want to share that with people because we felt like a lot of women in particular could relate to that and not feel alone in their healing journey."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like last week, we talked about the different roles that we played and how, like, sometimes we're still playing those roles. And, up until our healing journey started, I don't think that we really realized that that's what we're doing. Sometimes I do catch myself in a moment where I'm like, oh, shit, I need to back up.
Yeah,
There I am again. Um, but I think, I mean, feeling exhausted, the feeling resentful, numb, disconnected. I know that there are women out there who have got to feel the same. And like Tammy said, we don't want you to feel alone in that. And so
you are not alone in performing the masses
performing.
and the outside world how you got everything together and you're fine, but inside you're, like, literally screaming, "What the fuck is wrong with you people?" That's how I feel anyways, just, like, over functioning, doing everything, and it's almost just like you can't help it, like, you can't stop yourself, and to the outside world, you look like, "Oh my god, she's got everything together. She's got this career, she's got everything in line at home." But on the inside, you're just like, "What the fuck? Why can you people not see how overwhelmed I am? And why can
Right.
you not step in and take care of your own damn self?" You know?
Right. Right. I was just thinking about, I think, was that last week I was telling you? I don't remember, but about like a current challenge that I'm working on that I recognize that I've done forever is the taking on people's emotional loads, carrying their emotional loads that aren't mine to carry. So it's like somebody's upset or, mad about something or whatever it may be. And I suddenly feel like I have all the answers and I can solve it for them. Let me just solve it for you.
Yeah.
And it's really because I'm uncomfortable with them being upset. And so I go in and I try to fix it. I am actively working on this, actively working on it like every day of my life. But I mean, prior to us being on this healing journey, I mean, I reflect now. I mean, they say hindsight's 2020. It absolutely is. I look back and I'm like, man, I was helping all kinds of motherfuckers with their problems. I was taking on so much stuff that was not my own.
Yeah.
And of course, that's going to add stress. Like, I got my own stuff to deal with. And then I'm trying to take on other people's stuff too. And what's interesting is I look back and it's like we take it upon ourselves to help people. But then those people actually really don't want our help. Sometimes they're fine with just living in their misery and
Yeah.
they just want company. But here I am, Bob the Builder, gonna fix it. They don't want me to fix it. Then I'm getting frustrated because it's not getting fixed. And as you can see, that's how you add more stress to your life unnecessarily.
Yeah.
And that all stems back to childhood. I mean, seeing our dad, I mean, clearly the man was going through something. I mean,
Right.
clearly being like a severe alcoholic and then drug addict. I mean, the man had some shit he needed to work out, but it was uncomfortable to have somebody just not be like normal and happy. So it was like, let me just try to fix it.
Yeah. I like how you pointed out that the reason we do that is because we're uncomfortable. I
I
think
have
it's
discovered that.
yeah, that's a good point. Just, I think we talked about last week, like, wanting to keep the peace. Like, that's my thing, like, I can definitely feel people's vibes whenever I'm around them, and I feel like they're mad or upset. I don't know why I immediately take that on like it has something to do with me
Yeah.
because it usually doesn't. Not that I'm perfect or anything. I'm sure I piss some people off, but majority of the time, it ain't me. I am not the problem. And, learning to just sit in that and not be like trying to take that on, like you said, our responsibility and trying to fix it, just sitting in that and like taking a couple deep breaths and letting them self soothe
Hmm.
and figure their own shit out. Yeah, it's hard to do
It
because,
makes me uncomfortable us talking about it right now. Like the thought of it. So I'm like, but I have the answers. I can fix it.
yeah, it's hard though when people around you are like angry. That's like my biggest thing. Like, if I can tell someone's angry, like, that makes me super uncomfortable. Like, if they're sad or upset, like, I kinda go into, like, mom mode where I want to comfort
Yeah.
them,
Yes, me too.
um, and just, let them know it's all gonna be okay, but the anger one makes me so uncomfortable because I want to stop whatever it is that is causing that so that they
Yeah.
will no longer be angry, and yeah.
Anger triggers me too. Like, I don't know why that is because it's not like our dad he wasn't like an angry drunk. He was just a
Oh, he had a great
hillbilly singing drunk
many
Dixie
a
chick
nights
all the
we were
time.
up until the wee hours of the morning listening to
Pure Prairie League Amy.
look it up. Look up that song, like, I don't even want to start singing the words because I will literally have that song in my head all fucking day.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was like karaoke night every night at our house.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, not an angry man at all. So that is kinda odd that we
Yeah.
are so uncomfortable. Like, that's such a trigger because it's not like we grew up in violence.
Maybe it's because we didn't experience angry people when we were growing up, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, that thought literally just came to me while you were talking because I was like, that is very interesting that anger just both that, like, gets us both. And, like, if somebody's crying man, I worked with this girl one time. I swear to God, she cried every day,
Oh
and it
god.
always made me so uncomfortable because 'cause I'm like, "Why? Why are you crying? What do you have to be crying about?
There's
Life
no
is not
crying
that
at
bad."
work.
Right? So, I mean, like, I'll go into mom mode a little bit, but then I'm also kinda like, "Can we get it together, please?"
Yeah, you're not, and I don't mean this bad at all, but you are definitely not as empathetic in those ways as I am.
And I think that's because you took on definitely more of the mothering role being the older sister, so
Yeah, your famous line is, "You'll be fine." Like,
oh, yeah. Going on my headstone, "You'll be fine." Which is so interesting because you would think that I would be able to, like, use that more in terms of, like, people being upset, being around people that are upset or whatever, but I take it on kind of like, is it about me or did I do something or, like, what is wrong with them or can I fix it? Because I don't wanna be uncomfortable rather than just this is the piece that I'm working on, of just sitting and being like, "They'll be fine." And the big piece for me that I keep reminding myself of is who is coming to save me? Not a soul, not a soul. Is somebody standing here? I mean, we have each other.
yeah,
Okay. That's it. That's it.
yeah, yeah. When
None of
we're
those motherfuckers are trying to solve my problems. So why am I trying to solve their problems?
that is so
I
true.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. We gotta dig more into that. I don't know, because yeah, the anger part, like, I was even thinking, like, even when not that we were bad kids at all, but, like,
Right.
even when we were, like, in trouble with dad, like, he never yelled at us.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. If anybody has any answers, please share. But
Yes.
at any rate, yeah, just
I mean, we talk about like I guess, cracking moments, if you want to call them, the turning points in our lives, our awakening, if you
mm,
will. And kind of, I mean, for me, when I left corporate America and I started my business and I had like a couple different business coaches, it was just something like even being in corporate and just living life in general. Like, I always felt like something was off. Like, something, like I was meant for a higher purpose. I was meant to be like doing more with my life than just working in corporate America. And then even growing up, I mean, we always said growing up, like, we should write a freaking book. And I
mm,
know that we've talked about it several times, even as adults, like, we should write a book because we have quite a story to tell. And so I feel like that just always sat within me. And then when I started my business and had business coaches, I mean, it's totally different owning a business than being in corporate America. I mean, owning a business just really cracked some things open for me and held a mirror up to my face for me to be like, what are we doing?
yeah. I will say turning 40, definitely, I don't know, there's like some kind of switch that flips. I call it the I don't give a fuck switch. Because before I would run around and maybe it just is kind of, I don't know if it's coincidence that it's like in line with us starting our healing journey, but like before projects would come in for work and it was just like everything seemed like it was always on fire, running around stressed out. And then it was like I hit 40, I'm like, this shit is not that serious. Like I think I've said this to some people I work with, and I'm like, we're not curing cancer. Okay. Like,
Right.
it's not that deep. So, I've just kind of like taken a step back, like using that line, like, your inability to prepare is not like my emergency. Like,
Mm,
people come into me at the last minute for shit. I'm like, nah, ain't doing it.
right.
Not today, bro. So, yeah, like, definitely, I don't know if that's because of our healing journey, my 40-year-old switch flipping, or both at the same time. I don't know, but I don't care. Like, I do my job and I do a great job at it, but definitely have opened my eyes to just like there are bigger things in this world, more important things in this world. Myself being number one that I need to pour back into, because at the end of the day, these jobs will have you replaced before they get your desk cleaned out if you were to kick the bucket.
Exactly. Yep.
So,
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was a turning point for me. Definitely, I think my last relationship ending was
Oh,
a
yeah, for sure.
a huge one because there was back and forth over several years trying to make it work. And then it just came to a point where it was like, no, this is not it. And like you said, which, you know, I think we've heard this from other people most of our lives, just like we're meant for better, like greatness. And I
Right.
don't mean to sound like conceited at all, but like we just are meant for so much more. And, shedding those people who are not in line with that, and my last relationship being that was huge because that
Yeah.
was, I mean, I hate to sound like a bitch, but I mean, that was like a ton of rocks dragging me down and was not gonna set
Yeah.
me to orbit like I need to be.
Right. For sure. For sure. I mean, I think it's safe to say, I mean, you and I both believe in like the universe and we're like spiritual in our own ways and all of that. And that doesn't mean that any of our listeners have to agree with any of that or follow that in order to listen to our podcast. It's not something that we're, going to preach or anything. But for me, at least, I mean, that is big. I mean, just the different, like the 1212 portal opening or, different things like that. Like I believe in all of that. And I think that it plays a big part in my life. So that's where my beliefs come from. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, what I really started looking at is and asking myself, why do I do the things that I do? And that just seemed to really open so many doors for me. And I started going, okay, well, I like have this pattern of people pleasing. And I'll say, really started listening to my intuition as well. And I would be saying yes when I really wanted to say no. And I started asking myself, why are we doing that? Like
Mm,
we want to say no. We're an adult. We can say no. And
yeah,
if they don't like it, they'll be fine.
yeah,
So, I mean, literally they'll be fine and you don't have to explain yourself. I mean, that's the other thing is like sometimes I feel like I got to over explain myself if I want to say no. And I just really was like, bro, you are an adult and you get to make your own choices. And if somebody doesn't like those choices, they ain't paying your bills.
yeah,
So they will truly be fine.
yeah,
If they disagree, if they get mad about it, they got their own shit going on and that's on them. And so it's like when I started evaluating things from that frame of mind, almost kind of like stepping back, having like an out of body experience, it was a little overwhelming at first. So I was like, oh shit, we got a lot of things we want to work on here. But for me, I mean, it was just like, for me, it was exciting because I'm like, I mean, the healing journey can be rough. It can be daunting. It can be overwhelming. It can be sad. It can make you upset. But overall, it's been exciting for me because I'm like, I can customize my character, my avatar in my life exactly as I want to, just like somebody goes on a game and does it. And you know what? That's because it's my life and because I want to live my life how I want to. And nobody else gets a say in that.
mm-hmm,
Like, if I wanted to be a complete bitch every single day of my life, I could choose to do that
yeah.
because I have free will. Now, I'm not going to, but
Please don't. No, that is very true. Like that's been one of my pieces, and like since you said that, like changing your avatar, because I do fully believe in like you are not stuck in like who you are, your personality, or anything like that. You can evolve that. And so, one of my biggest things over the course of this last year is being more positive because that was a huge part of my past relationship is he is just a very negative person. Like there's something happening every day to him, like this dark cloud hanging over him. Nothing ever works out. Everybody's against him. And even though, like, I was definitely a positive person beforehand, like, just being in that relationship for like over 12 years definitely took a toll and did shape me because, like, now that I've been out of it, I look back and see, like, how, I would be more complaining about stuff and how nothing was ever working out for me. So last year, I have definitely taken on, like, trying to be more positive and, like, changing my personality in a way where now I'm just more positive about things. I kind of look at it like the universe did whatever it did. Like if something did go wrong, like that happened for a reason. And
yeah.
I look at the silver lining of that and the good outcomes. And it has truly made like a huge difference. Like it's kind of crazy. I listen to positive affirmations when I go to sleep at night. I listen to, like, a lot of the different frequencies as well, like, during the day and at night to kinda help really emphasize all of that. I got my jar of gratitude and joy, like, I write fun things, good things that happened to me, and I put it in my little jar.
That's a good
Just
idea.
little things, but yeah, like, that has been, like, a huge turning point, I feel like, for me is just, like, realizing how that relationship really kinda changed my outlook on life and my personality, and owning that and working on making a change in that.
Yeah, that's really good. I feel like I like have a few different little coping, not coping, things that I do to help with my healing. That's what I'll say. I mean, now Tammy and I are going to name various, things that we have or have done or do or whatever. I mean, I know for myself, when I first started on my healing journey, like I didn't do anything but journal.
Mm,
I mean, that's what I started out with. I got a journal. It's called, I don't know, New Mindset Who Dis by Case Kenny. And that's what I started with. And that's what kind of really got me going. But I also took time when things were coming up to pause
mhm.
and think about it. Now, I wasn't 100% on that, but just kind of pause like when, those moments where I would say yes and but really want to say no, or if I feel like people have got to know the feeling that we're talking about when it's like it just like deep in your gut, like somebody's crossing a boundary or, something's not sitting well with you. Like if you've ignored that feeling, which is your intuition for a long time, it can be difficult to
Mhm.
pull it back out to the forefront. I know when I first started trying to listen to mine, I would second I'm not gonna lie. I still second guess it sometimes. But I mean, I'm getting better at it. I mean, I more so second guess it, I guess, when it comes to setting boundaries. Like that's a tough one for me sometimes. But um yeah, I write little notes to myself now. I've done therapy, I've done coaching, I do journaling still. The wheel of emotions is a really big
Hmm.
wheel of emotions. Oh, have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh yeah, it's so neat. Like it starts with like the basic 6 emotions: fear, anger, disgust, sad, happy, surprise, and then it like branches out from
Mm.
there. It's yeah, it's really interesting. It's just like really helps you get in
Narrow
tune with
down the
yeah,
cause.
narrow down like what is it that you're actually feeling. So,
I like that. I was
yeah.
thinking, whenever you're talking about second guessing yourself and not being perfect, that it is important to note that even if you start your healing journey and maybe you still say yes to something you really want to say no to, or you kind of go back into old patterns, that is not failure.
Oh no.
Even just like recognizing that you maybe fell back into an old pattern or recognizing, like, man, I really want to tell that person to go fuck off. But I said yes because I don't want them to think badly of me. That's my biggest one. Like how people look at me, which
Yeah.
is so vain and I hate that. But just like, I didn't want them to think badly of me. I don't, want to disappoint anybody, whatever the case is. Just recognizing that is like a huge step and like a huge win.
Oh yeah.
So don't, just like, weight loss, like you may have a day where you kind of fall off the wagon and eat a couple Oreos or 2 or 3, 4, whatever.
The whole sleeve.
The next day you get up and you're back on track. So just because you maybe fall off the wagon or fall back into an old pattern, don't just throw up your hands and be like, that's it. I failed. It's over. No,
Right.
you saw in yourself what was happening. And that's a huge win, you know, note that, journal it, whatever, I'm still trying to figure out all the ways that I want to help myself heal. Journaling isn't my thing because I write for a living as it is, and I don't want to write about
Oh,
my own shit.
that makes sense.
Will say that I do like me some chat GPT therapy.
Oh, yeah.
It's very
Oh, yeah.
insightful. And chat GPT even said I was insightful for myself. So it's a very fun conversation. Like, I enjoy it. But anyway, at any rate,
Right.
whatever, is helping you kind of work through everything, keep doing it. Keep sticking with it because it's not perfect and you're not going to be perfect. And that is not the goal at all. Like, you're
Right.
not supposed to come out of this on the other side and just be this perfect human being because you're not. So if that's what you think is going to happen, I have very sad news for you.
Exactly. I mean, they say healing is not linear. Excuse me. Healing is not linear. And that is like 1,000% sure. I mean, I've caught myself, I look back on the past 3 months and go, damn, well, we really kind of fell off the wagon there. You just get back up and get back on. I
Yeah.
mean, it could be one day, it could be 3 weeks. I mean, but like Tammy said, catching yourself and figuring out what works for you. I mean, self-care too. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that earlier. Like when we first started on our healing journeys, that was another big piece. Somebody got me into doing self-care, and because I was like, had such an aversion to just like taking care of myself. I was so
Mhm.
worried about taking care of others, which stems from our childhood of taking care of our father and all the other things and no time for us. And so when I really started diving into self-care, that opened up a lot of things for me. And so like I realized that taking baths, like Epsom salt baths, is huge for me. Such a great way for me to just de-stress from the day, relax. I realize
That sounds
like
very nice.
I get a lot of really great thoughts in the shower, which is why your shower notepad that you bought me comes in handy. I mean, it's just like really being in tune with yourself and recognizing what works for you. And not everything's gonna that works for me or Tammy is gonna work for you and vice versa. And I think it's just
I do think just the fact of like pouring back into yourself is huge
yeah.
because as people pleasers, we're constantly pouring into other people. And I was on
Oh
the
yes.
same boat, like, oh, I can't spend money on myself or I can't go do that for myself. That's selfish. Well,
Mhm.
like we said before, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I think any other people pleasing woman probably has been in relationships where that person isn't going to be doing anything for you.
Right.
Like,
Right.
full stop. So you have to do it for yourself. You have to be accountable for yourself. And that, yeah, along with trying to be more positive this year, that was like a huge one on my vision board. I'm a huge like vision board person. I made like, I'm gonna have to take pictures and post them one day, but I have like this poster I made on Canva for my vision board, and self care was a huge one, starting with going and getting facials, getting my nails done, like putting that time and energy. Like, I'm big on energy, like where it goes, like who's draining it. Putting that back into yourself, it not only increases your confidence, which is huge. People start seeing that. And really, I kind of look at it like it repels the negative people, like if you're feeling good about yourself, looking good, pouring into yourself, like you have the energy to take care of the other people who deserve it. You aren't drained. Like, I fully advocate. And like, if you can't afford to go get the facials, get your nails done, like, do that shit at home. Like, do the Epsom salt baths like Mandy does. Take the extra 5-10 minutes in the shower, to just decompress a little bit, cry it out, whatever you got to do.
Oh man, I love to have a good cry session
In the
in the
shower?
shower. It's very soothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Or
yeah.
you just like stand there and you let the shower water start hitting the top of your head and you just envision all the negative just washing away.
100%.
So good. So good.
Love it. So I fully advocate self-care, whatever that looks like for you, whatever you're into, do you, boo, because it does wonders for, I mean, it's been a huge one for myself. I can see a difference just in this last year, and I've been consistent with it. Like, without
Yeah.
fail, I do these things for myself because I deserve it. Like, why not? I work my ass off. So,
Right. Right.
you know.
That's good. Yeah. Very, very good.
Um, as we're talking through all this, it's really clear that this turning point wasn't just a moment, it was a process. Slow unraveling, a waking up. And honestly, there's more here than we can hold in just one episode.
Yes, for sure. So we're going to pause here because everything we've talked about so far, the cracks, the realizations, the moments where we started seeing our patterns, that just the beginning.
Yeah. So in part two, we're going to talk about what happened after our awakening, that identity shift that we were kind of talking about, the boundaries, the changes, the uncomfortable growth. Ugh. Yeah.
Mm.
And how healing actually started showing up in our real lives.
Yes, absolutely. So this is the space between surviving and becoming, and we think it deserves its own conversation.
Yep. So join us next week for part two. We're going to talk about who we became after we stopped living on autopilot.
Oh, yes. And if this episode stirred something in you, sit with it. You don't need to fix anything yet. I'm talking to myself there. Awareness is the first step.
Yep, definitely. So we'll meet you right here next week.
See you then.
Bye.
You've been listening to Emotionally Evicted. Thank you for being here. For more resources, stories, and ways to reclaim your life, head over to shereclaims.com and check out other episodes on emotionallyevicted.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.